everybody, you go watch something else. If you're watching this to see a loss in The Binding of Isaac, you're watching the wrong guy. But the only two people still playing Isaac on YouTube are you and Civicta, and he's won for 2 years in a row. Aw, son of a... You're right. Alright, keep watching. I don't lose on quarantine, though. 8LC6H1FO. We've been rolling pretty well lately. Couple of light scares, you know? Not something like, you know, no hereditary sort of stuff, but maybe like, you know, that Goosebumps episode? You ever watch the Goosebumps television show? And there's that one episode where the little girl gets the haunted mask from the mask shop. Everyone's like, don't take that mask, it's haunted. And then she's like, no, I want the haunted one. And then it grafts to her face, you know? She can't take it off. Wait, in my head, I'm like, is her name Carly? Let's see how good the human brain is. I haven't thought about Goosebumps, the television show, since 1998. Goosebumps, haunted mask. Call your name is Carly Beth! What the heck, dude? The brain is an incredible tool. That's absurd. Okay. Alright. Scripted. You know how much of a loser I'd have to be to script something like that? Slightly more of a loser than I actually am, I assure you that much. Anyway, that's absurd. Well, I don't know if her name is Carly or Carly Beth, but, you know. I'll take it, dude. That's pretty amazing. Also, Brain, what are you doing with that information? You know, sometimes, I know this is like a very boomer characterization of like a husband. Sometimes I have to look up what our anniversary is. Like my wedding anniversary with my wife. I'm like, I know it's in May, and it's around this time. Thankfully, we have a wedding photo book very prominently displayed in our home. So I can just look at that, and it always says, like, Ryan and Kate Letourneau, married on blank day. And I go, okay, commit that to memory. But it doesn't stick that well. However, apparently, we're still holding information in there related to a Goosebumps television episode. Probably came out in the year 1996. Incredible. The human brain is an amazing thing. You might think that's unhusbandly, by the way. My wife says the same thing. Sometimes she'll be like, isn't our anniversary like the 24th? And I'm like, it's the 22nd. And then I get to be like, how did you not know that? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, I forget too. And then we go, ha 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 ha. It's a fun time. Anyway, today is a Sunday. How's my weekend? Settling, you know, just pretty standard, really. Hold on, can I get one more penny so we could maybe get arcades in the future? Probably just good practice to get as many charges on Book of Sin as possible. I didn't really do all that much yesterday. Well, that's not true. Yesterday I kind of, so like I don't work on Saturdays, but I kind of cheat the system. I say I don't work, but what I do is I don't record. But I got some work done. You know, it takes me... These days, because we're doing like cool thumbnails, or at least I think they're cool, and my mom says I'm handsome, so, you know, I must be right. Cool thumbnails for each episode, and, you know, playing a lot of different games, so we're not just exclusively, like, you know, changing the number in the top right corner of the thumbnail in today's modern age. Not that I got anything against that, it's served me well for a very long time. But it takes me like half an hour to 40 minutes to just set my videos for every single day now, to be honest. So, you know, I did that in the morning. And then I was like, you know, I got a little bit of like occupational momentum. So I worked on the, and actually completed the Twitch Best of March 2020 video. Which I'm always, you know, have you ever heard of the anti-procrastination tip? That is like... If something takes you less than... We talked about it on Check the Wire, which probably went up like 5 days ago now. If something takes you less than 2 minutes to complete, you just do it. I even think like if something takes you less than 10 minutes to complete, you shouldn't be allowed to procrastinate on it. If you're like, I should brush my teeth, just do it. I should shower, just do it. you know? And yeah, my showers take less than 10 minutes. I challenge you. I'll go up in a pit smelling competition against anybody. I don't want to be the one smelling the pits. I'll be the ones having my pits smelled. It also helps that I don't have hair, so. But honestly, whenever people talk about how long their showers are, I'm like, I've been there. I've taken a 15-minute shower. There's 5 minutes of active work and 10 minutes of standing with your back to the shower head just thinking about nothing. Or like what you should have said in an argument a couple days ago. Or like that time your bus driver said, have fun in university, and you said, you too. Or, enjoy your movie, you too. So stupid! Those are, I mean, obviously real stories from my life. But anyway, I mean, the real stories from everybody's life. You're not stupid. That's just, you know, part of the reason that language is so easy for human beings is because we rely on things like, you know, shorthand and context and automatic responses and stuff like that. Anyway, we don't need to go there. Mostly because I'm unqualified to speak about it. I'm almost, like, on my day off at least, I'm almost of the vein that, like, if something takes less than 2 hours, you're not allowed to procrastinate it. So, like, doing the dishes, as soon as you think about it, just knock it out. You're going to be happy you did. Taking the garbage down? I mean, that doesn't take 2 hours, obviously, but you get the idea. So I thought, you know, I've been trying to live like that because, you know, I want to do the videos. I think doing the videos is a positive thing, and they're fun to do as well, and they don't take that much time. So, I took like 90 minutes and got that done. That was a lot of fun. That will have been up for like 6 days, and due to the deluge of content since then, will have been largely forgotten about, but maybe you'll remember it now. Hey, do me a favor. If you're watching this, I know, and I mean watching. If you're trying to fall asleep, that is what it is. You don't have to do what I'm about to say. If you're watching this, go to Northernlion's Best of Twitch March 2020 and leave a comment that says, "Hey Egg, I'm here from Isaac." And then, I know and now I'm giving you a lot of work, I apologize, but tweet me and say, "Hey, I left a comment. I did what you asked." That could be fun. Little experiment there. Apart from that, I didn't really get up to too much. I did play a little bit of Animal Crossing. I tapped myself dry on Animal Crossing, cutting all of the useless trees off on my island and reorganizing the other fruit trees. Still having a great time with that game. I maintain part of the genius of Animal Crossing is that it's not afraid to let you get bored. I think that's an actual inspired game design choice, and I'm not even being sarcastic. Obviously. And then, obviously. And then, you know, I think we should just take it. I kind of want a speed upgrade, but we should probably just take it. I mean, what do you want from me? I told you we weren't going to lose on quarantine. So just give me my Eternal Heart, and I'll be on my way. Oh, it's useless. So yeah, I bought my turnips today. I bought for 97, and I'm looking forward to sell at whatever's plausible. You know, whatever looks good, whatever looks hip, whatever looks with it, whatever looks tucka. Apart from that, I didn't really get up to too much. Watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood again. Look, I've said it many times. Why would I watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Help me. For a second time. It's a long movie. I saw it in theaters in like July. Why would I watch that instead of watching something I've been meaning to watch for a long time? Like, for example, The Lighthouse. It honestly just comes down to inertia and patterns. It might even be the same reason you find yourself watching Isaac right now. So I'm going to be careful with what I say. I don't want to send you off, you know? But when I'm playing Animal Crossing or just lounging about on the couch, I have like a flow chart. It used to be start by looking at TLC and see if 90 Day Fiancé is on. I honestly washed out a 90 Day pretty quickly, and I'm still being punished for having enjoyed it at some point. People are still like, well, yeah, you claim to be learned, and yet you love 90 Day Fiancé. No, I was infatuated with 90 Day Fiancé for a period of maybe 60 days. I'm not embarrassed by it. I still think it's great television. Like, let me put it this way. You know how many people are watching Tiger King right now? And they're going, man, this is amazing. By the way, I can't believe you'd watch trash like 90 Day Fiancé. 90 Day Fiancé is just Tiger King, but the crimes haven't been committed yet. It's like watching Tiger King in media res instead of after it's already happened. But anyway, kind of washed out. You know, like, I hate to say it, but you kind of just, I got burnout is one way to describe it. Not because I watched so much of it, but because literally every couple is like, they all say the same thing, you know? I know that most of these couples are marrying for money and not for love, but we're different. And you're like, you're 63 years old, lied about your appearance and height to woo this woman in the first place. She's 21. I'm not saying you're not in love. I'm just saying this is not how it normally manifests. Maybe I'm wrong. There have been a couple, I'll level with you, on 90 Day Fiancé over the years. There have been a couple of couples who actually figured it out. Got it to work. I hate to do it, but we're going to stick with this. We're going to stick with Guppy's head. Anyway, that's not for me to judge. But then now I don't go to TLC first. I go to the news, and I'm like, is it a state of emergency in my city yet? Yes, no, okay. It doesn't really affect me because I'm staying inside all the time. Stay safe, everybody, obviously. I think that goes without saying. But if it needs to be said, stay safe. And for God's sake, stay inside, except for essential services, please. Groceries, for example. But now I go to the movie channels first to see what's on. Same way you might just be like, I'm a little bit bored, let's slip into my routine. I'm going to watch youtube.com/Northernlion. Oh, there's a new Isaac, and I wonder what he's going to talk about on this. That's you falling asleep. And apparently suffering a little bit from sleep apnea based on the sound I made there. Maybe you should get that checked out. Anyway, so I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood again. Great movie. I mean, I don't want to call it slow. I mean, it is a little slow. Like things don't really happen in that movie. You're really just witnessing like a slice of life. When I saw it over the summer, I liked it, but I didn't know how much I liked it. I was trying to, because like when I watched it, there were times where I was like, what's happening? Like, is any of this relevant? And then when you get to the end of the movie, I don't want to say it's irrelevant, but it's kind of like, it's not one of those movies where you're like, you know, if you look at Cliff Booth's wallpaper in this scene, it indicates the themes of what will happen in this movie. No, it's more just like, hey, look at this story of this immense male friendship. It's just like a really, I don't want to say it's a nicely told story, but it's just like, it's actually fun, I guess is a good way to describe it. Once you know what you're getting into, it's very fun. And apart from that, I did like nothing at all. Except the dishes, and I cooked a little bit. Did a little video editing. But apart from that, I mean, like, I don't say that to be like, oh, check out how productive I am. I honestly just, I feel better having, like, done something. And I'm worried that, like, if I stop, I will run out of the routine, and then I'll lose that zeal, you know? Oh. Also, like, so on today's stream, I played some Control, one of 2019's most well-respected games. I don't think I've played a Remedy game since, like, Max Payne. I don't know, did they even make Max Payne 1? I know they made... Well, you know what? Did they make Max Payne 3? Did they... I was out of the video game industry for a while, you know? I kind of knew what was going on in, like, the mid-2000s. Then I went to university, and, you know, that kind of didn't become a priority for a while, so I missed some of that generation. Anyway, suffice it to say, I'm sure someone will leave a comment that'll illuminate that for me. I doubt we'll lose, or use, I should say, Little Brim, but why not take advantage of it here? And I think also... might as well try this. We got no relevant stats down. You'll love to see it. Great game. I've been enjoying it so far. I really think... So, to be fair, you know, I've only played like 3 hours of it so far. And to be fair, you can't always judge a game based on 3 hours. Like, most indie games, I think you get a really good idea after like 30 minutes. You're like, am I going to like this? Am I not going to like this? But some, you know, AAA games, I'm not trying to be negative, but if anything, I think they're like a little front-loaded. They start super strong, and you're like enamored with it, and then as things go on, you're like, the mechanics that once brought me here are no longer as interesting as they were when I was first introduced to them, because it's, in my opinion, kind of dragged a little bit and yada yada yada. So I don't want to gush too hard about Control right off the bat, but what I'm willing to say for sure is it is like more artfully directed than maybe any game I've ever played. The one game that springs to mind on the top of my head, and I'm sure there's a lot of other examples I might just be ignorant to or not remembering right now. As much as I have... Let me rephrase this, because what I was going to say is, as much as I have mixed opinions on God of War 2016, I don't. Or is it 2018? I don't know. It's probably 2018. I really don't. I think it's a great game. It just wasn't a super awesome choice for me to stream. But I think it's fair to say that most people probably like that game more than I do. Help. And this is still really good. Hold on. Let's see if we can maybe get another card. I kind of like buying Diplopia just as a temporary hold. And I think that this has paid unbelievable dividends. We don't get another Guppy item credit, by the way, there. I wish we did, but we don't. So I think that's... No, we still need the map. No, we got the map. We just... Yeah, we got it from the duplicated... Alright. Anyway, without a doubt, you know, sometimes I'm like, the story of God of War is, like, good, but it doesn't quite hit me as hard as it hits other people. I can't deny the direction and, like, cinematic design in that game is on another level. Like, it really is remarkable. But Control, with its world building and, honestly, just the aesthetic that it embodies is super, super good. So I'm having a great time with that so far. I meant to say, by the way, but I wanted to talk about Control real quick. Just throwing a key to the key gods there. I am in the comments. You might have seen me more frequently being in the comments, including for Isaac. Big ups to everybody in the comments being nice. And I don't mean like... I'm trying to think about how to phrase this. I had heard... Like sometimes if you don't watch on Twitch, people are talking about you behind your back. If you're in the Isaac comments. People go, oh, Isaac comments, Monka S. By the way, Monka S is a Twitch emote that indicates anxiety or apprehension. That's how confident I am in this run, by the way. We chose not to take the miter. So in my head, I was kind of like, oh, dude, the comments must be, like, horrible if even Twitch chat is freaking out. No offense, Twitch chat. We definitely do not need a tiers upgrade, so why not just get some more luck for the future? But no, I was in the comments. People are really nice, and if anything, I really appreciate people still hanging out in the Isaac comments, you know, keeping each other company, and even the accounts that are like just commenting before I go to sleep every day, and it's like day 175 in a row. That gave me a nice chuckle. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Been in the comments a little bit more. I think it's part of, like, you know, it's obvious, you know, in 2020 we've had some serious boosts of positivity and energy, and it is indeed related to, I mean, it's related to a number of things, you know. Definitely, yes, you know, the news that we're expecting kicked me into gear a little bit. I remember, and I've always been very proud of this metaphor. Even though it's my own metaphor, I'm not afraid to toot my own horn on this one. When Cobalt was expecting, you know, to have his first child, I said, like, having a kid is like smacking the side of a Pringles can. Like, all the chips are either going to get in line, or a couple of them might shatter. Which is just it's not as elegant, necessarily, as it was when I originally said it. I think I actually did better the first time. However... all I meant by that was, like, you know, when you're having a kid, kind of, it motivates you to either, like, you know, get stuff together in your life, or I guess, like, you know, I hate to be real, but, like, bail. And I'm not bailing, so I was like, you know, my life's in a good spot, but it is a weird surge of like energy that's like, hey, all the like idiosyncrasies in my life that I'm not super like, that are not on point for me right now, I'd like to get them sorted. So that was part of it, is just like having a little bit more passion for the job. But also, you know, even it's now like probably a year since we started having a little bit more of a focus on a positive community. I think it's a natural step for me to step in to the comments and be like, you know, because here's the thing. It must suck to leave a comment and know that there's zero chance a creator is going to read it. And there have been periods of time. I mean, you got to remember, like, YouTube it's a work in progress. Like, this job has not existed for like 50 years, you know? When you're talking about stuff in like a real office or something like that, there's like corporate handbooks that are like, yeah, here's how you should handle this, here's how you should handle this. Hold on. Yes, please. You know what? We can definitely do it. We could even do boss rush if there's something good enough. Nah. Definitely not good enough, I'm sad to say. On YouTube, everybody's figuring it out. So sometimes, even still, keep in mind, you know, when over the years, I've aged. I'm not sure if I've mentioned it once or twice, but, you know, the philosophy I might have had about the comments when I was like 24 is not the same necessarily as I feel about them now that I'm, you know, 31. When I was 24, I didn't have like a bad attitude. I wasn't like, how dare anybody question my genius? But I was like, man, some people in the comments are rude. I guess I'll just like read none of them. Now I'm like, dude, I'm so flattered that not only would people watch my video, but they would, you know, like the video enough to leave a comment. And I'm not talking about the bad commenters, you know, people who leave. I mean, there's like different gradients, right? Like some people are just toxic, and like that's their thing. Whether they think they are or they don't realize that they are, they're just kind of like being jerks about it, right? And then there's some people who are like, they're positive sometimes, and they're a little bit more critical sometimes because, you know, it depends on how the episode hits them. But I'm not saying like, you know, wow, I'm so flattered that people would leave hate on the video. I'm more like, oh, no, screw that. But, like, I shouldn't punish the nice people by not coming to the comments. Because you're really, like, you know, I think I'm doing the community a disservice by letting, like, the under 5% of viewers who are, like, you know, openly very, very negative and dismissive to things, you know, affect the 95% of people who would, like, find it super exciting to get a reply or an acknowledgement on their comment, or even just talk to other people, you know? So that's kind of where my head's been at there, and I think it's been working out really nicely, actually. I think it's been really good. And it's been nice seeing what people are writing as well, because I think it helps, you know, keep you focused. You're like, oh, people like this, people don't like this. And then you're like, well, this guy doesn't like this, but I looked at his comment history, and he doesn't really like anything, so... I'm not gonna, you know, it's just not to crap on that guy, but more like, you know, I'm not gonna pay as much mind to his comment as I might to someone else's who is, you know, a little bit more balanced now and then. It's been good. I think the community's in a good place. The other thing is, I think the comments are kind of like a garden, you know? If you don't take care of your garden, weeds start to grow. It's clear nobody cares about it. People start throwing their garbage in it, cracking open, like, you know, glass bottles, dumping them in your garden, stuff like that. And they're like, whatever, he doesn't come here anyway. If you take care of your garden, I don't know, a certain percentage of people might be like, wow, what a nicely kept garden, I'm gonna crap in it. I don't know, I think that was our better play there, weirdly enough. But I think most people are like, what a nice... They'll come into your garden and be like, this is a nice garden. And you go, thank you for saying my garden is nice. And they go, you know, I'd like to plant my flower in this nice garden. And you say, you're welcome to plant your nice flower in this garden. Okay, the metaphor is getting way too heavy-handed. All I'm saying is I appreciate it, okay? If you ever see me reply to a comment... and it seems like I'm being defensive, in all likelihood, it's just like a lighthearted jab. I hope the tone is coming across well. In text, it's always dangerous. The way I see it is like, I make the video, and someone's like, great video, shame he got stuck on, you know, 1510 when I solved the puzzle immediately. And then I go, hey, great comment, shame you got stuck on being a jerk when you could have been a nice dude. I don't mean like, you know, got him. I mean that more like an older brother absolutely dominating their younger brother in intellectual discourse because they're the superior in every single way. I'm just joking. Several people are typing. And you know what? I'll be reading. All right. This is a very fast, a very frenetic, a very good run. Carly Beth, the protagonist of the Haunted Mask episode of Goosebumps, will be very proud. We could lose, but I definitely think that we will not. And I know I'm not just sandbagging by saying that we could lose. We are light-ish on HP. With invincibility, it should not even come close to happening. I mean, I think we're about as likely to die as we are to get hit on this floor. And okay, well, we're screwed then. Because I got hit immediately after saying that. In hindsight, that might not have been the most sensible approach there. Ooh. No. We're absolutely fine. And dude, we put together quite a nice little streak. It kind of snuck up on me. Like if I'm leveling with you, I have essentially, I don't have the best memory on Isaac runs to begin with because I'm talking the whole time, which is like a form of distraction, right? When you're distracted, like sometimes you're having a conversation with somebody and you're running your own dialogue through your head. You aren't even listening to what they're saying and they're like, what do you think? And you're like, wow, that's crazy. And they're like, it's crazy that I asked you what you want to have for dinner, and you're like, haha, I was making a joke. And they're like, what? What is this guy talking about? Maybe that's just me. You can get yourself into trouble, but to be honest, I have, like, the streak didn't exist until I hit, like, 25. Not age, but, like, 25, you know, runs won in a row. I just kind of, like, woke up one day, and I was like, what? We've won 25 times in a row? Let's keep it going. Speaking of which, I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed the episode, click the like button. It still helps out. Subscribe. A lot of people watching Isaac every day, not subscribed. Hey, it would help me out a lot if you click the bell. Enabled our subscriber milestones for Super Smash Bros. And Doki Doki Literature Club, both of which I'm equally excited to do, of course, as you can tell from the tone of my voice. For now, thanks for watching. I'll be in the comments, respond and reply, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good snooze.